Welcome back to the channel. Once again, I'm Professor Will, your Director of Training here at Centurion Holdings LLC. And with me again is my good friend Carrington. He's a Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. In the last video, we covered closing the distance using offense. Today, we're going to do closing the distance using our defense. Check it out. So once again, one of the important parts of this is understanding the distance range between us. We're not in here where we can throw elbows. We're not here where we can punch. We're here where we can only kick. In this case, only he can kick and I can't touch him, so that's why I have to cross that gap, because I need to be able to apply punches and kicks to him. And the first thing on the defense you're going to worry is just your basic cover. So my palms, if I don't have gloves on, go on my forehead. If I've got gloves on, you can put the knuckle part of the glove on your forehead here. And I'm covered. Understand that this is not something you want to stay in here forever and let shots rain in. I can't close this up because then I can't see what he's doing. I block myself. So I have to leave some type of a gap that I can see through. And if you stand here and just let him punch, eventually that gap's going to widen up enough that you're going to take a punch. Go watch any MMA event over the last 20, 30 years and you'll see that happen to a lot of guys. They try to stand there, they're not utilizing head movement, they're not utilizing footwork, and they end up getting hit quite often. But to move forward, when he starts punching, I close that up and I drive until my elbows touch him. Once my elbows and forearms are on him, then I can worry about, again, what kind of clinch I'm looking for. I'm not worried about the clinch again for this video. I don't care. Body lock, one arm in, one arm out, both arms in, both arms out, necktie, I don't care. T position, knock yourself out. It doesn't matter for the purposes of this video. All we're working on now is closing this gap. So that first one again, as I see those punches coming, I cover my head so I can get inside and get into some type of a clinch position. That's just a basic front cover. Crazy monkey, call it whatever you want to call it. It's just a front cover, and I keep that in there. The next one is the old style peekaboo, where I hit here. This obviously has some issues to it because you have very little cover from uppercuts or body work that comes in. So make sure on this one you're not dawdling forward. I am moving in. And again, we're here. I see punches coming. I put this in. And again, as soon as I get contact, now I can get grip. However you want to grip, I don't care. But you're going to move forward until I make contact with him, with my forearms. Then I'm going to get a grip on him. So the first one is that front cover. Second one is the peekaboo. The third one is one that I call the Dracula. It's got all kinds of different names. It's got different types of functions or different types of combinations where they put the hands. But it basically involves this arm covering the head in some way, whether it's high on the forehead, whether it's right across the cheek line so that I can see over the top of it. But anyway, in here somewhere, in this hand is some combination of being over here to help protect the head. I don't care. So when I see the punches coming in, I just keep moving forward. Again, that elbow is going to make contact, and that's my cue to get a grip. It works out of the unmatched leads as well. I move forward until I can get contact, and then I can get a grip and get my clinch. And the last one is the long guard. So in this one, I put this hand forward, and then they talk about, hey, closed fist, open hand. Yes. I think we say that all the time on this channel. Whichever one works best for you, knock yourself out. Do be careful when you're working with your buddy about leaving my fingers out. I don't want to poke him in the eyes. Okay? And so be cautious of that. But I can use my palm out here. I can use the fist out here. Obviously, if we're wearing gloves and doing some type of Muay Thai or striking training, I can't open my hand with most of those type of gloves, so you're going to have a closed fist. But when I see those punches coming in, I'm covering up and putting this into his face. And that's what I'm looking for. I just want that to touch. And about the time that touches, I know I can collapse in and get my clinch. So I see punches coming, I throw this long guard. As soon as we get that push, now I can work inside and get some type of a clinch. So we've got the cover. We've got the peekaboo, we've got Dracula, and we've got a long guard. That's the cover portion of how to close distance using our defense. The next part of our defense on closing this gap is to learn to use our head movement and footwork to slip the punches. Obviously, standing here and being a heavy bag and letting that thing hit me as I'm moving to hit my arms and my cover as I move forward is fairly simple. It also has its drawbacks as far as I can get hit or I'm taking punishment on my forearms on those things. Understand, it's calculated risk. For this one, it's a little bit more calculated because now when I see that punch coming, I'm slipping to the outside of it. That takes a lot more timing, it takes more distance understanding, and it takes a lot more knowing how to move my body and my footwork than just standing here and rushing forward. Because if I do this wrong, bloop, I get punched in the face. I prefer to slip if I can to the outside of a punch because I have less to worry with. That being said, if my head's on this side and I see that coming in, I'm not going to try to go across it to slip. I'll slip to the inside. If I slip to the inside, understand I have to worry about this hand because you know it's coming. So I have to worry about that as well. I have to worry about the knees. I have to worry about the kick from the back leg. Where if I slip to the outside of the punch, I have less of this to worry about. That is coming, yes, but this has to move, which gives me the ability to move in with it and either go with that punch when it moves and step inside, or take the single leg, so as I slip the punch, step right in and snatch. Pull the leg right up, straight off the ground. If I slip to the inside, it's the same thing. I can step right inside, hopefully ducking that punch, get my grip, and pull this right up on a single leg snatch. So that'll look something like this. And if my head slips to the inside, the next thing we do when we slip is we run straight into the freight train double. I'm not going to go over the entire freight train double on this video. We've got another video from just about a year ago you can check out on the channel. I'll put a link in the description below for that one so you can go back and check that one out at a later date. But for today's purposes, understand I'm slipping the punch and I'm driving forward, closing this distance to get into this double leg. Same thing works if I have to slip to the inside and I drive forward. And again, it's freight train, I'm whoosh, straight through it, okay? So I slip and drive. And again, link in the description on the entire freight train double series that we use. Go check that out. But that's how we want to use the slips to close distance. Thanks for coming back and joining us today. Today we finished out the series on closing the reactionary gap. We did it on the defensive side of how to close that gap. We did some covers, we did some slips, and we got a couple of ways on each one of those for you to do that. I hope you enjoyed. Check us out on all your favorite social media platforms. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff you're supposed to do on those. You can always find us at CenturionHoldingsLLC.net. You can contact us at CenturionHoldingsLLC@gmail.com. You can check the QR code, and as always, we'll see you next time.